Do you want to improve your movement? Are you trying to get better? Well, I'm here to help. I'm a two-time Call of Duty World Champion, and I got some tips to give to you. 5 to be exact. Let's get right into it. Your best form of engaging in Modern Warfare 2 is going to be jump shotting and jump shotting around corners. Now, in previous CODs, we used to be able to like slide cancel and do all that fancy stuff, but in this game, it's actually horrible. Sliding got nerfed hard, and jumping around corners and jump shotting are going to be your best friends, like exactly like that. The reason why is the tactical sprint is going to give you that momentum boost, and when you hit that jump around a corner, it's very fast, but there's a big thing you must be doing in order to do it correctly. Not only are you going to be jumping around corners, the number one tip for this is you're going to be ADSing as you're jumping around a corner. So it's going to look like that. You're not going to do this, jump around a corner, then ADS halfway or even at the end of the jump like this, because that's going to be slow. By the time you actually aim in, you're probably dead. The number one tip is you're going to jump, aim in midair, and that way, as soon as you see your target, you're already on them and you're able to shoot. Just like that. Now, if you've seen some Call of Duty professional players play, well, you know, this is what they do about 90% of the time. They jump around the corners and they ADS and they just do it constantly just like this. And it's very, very effective in a game like MW2. So if you know someone's around a corner and you're trying to challenge them, if you know they're holding kind of the pre-aim, for example, like this, instead of walking out and being a bot and just doing this, you're probably dead. Jump shot around the corner and catch them with that camera. And now for the second most important movement in MW2, because it's very, very viable, is snaking. So snaking is essentially crouching or proning behind cover very quickly and doing this. And it's very hard for someone to shoot you while you're doing this. The bot is going to have a difficult time to hit me if he decides to shoot. But basically, what you want to do is you want to sprint forward and then go back and then prone, crouch, prone, forward to crouch, prone, and you can even do this like on the floor. So you want to sprint forward, go prone, and push back. Basically what you're doing just very quickly. Now, there's 2 reasons why snaking is very good, and it's very cheesy to the point where pro players even hate it and want it banned, but there's not much you can do about it. You can use it aggressively and defensively. Now, the way to use it defensively is like if you're getting weak or you're behind cover, this is going to be able to buy time and save your life because they're going to be afraid to push you or challenge you if you're snaking them. So that is one way. Another thing is you're able to gain information without either dying or even sometimes getting weak. So when I'm trying to kind of spot someone, I can do this constantly. Like, oh, guys to my left. Okay, now I challenge, and that's where the aggressive part comes in. But me snaking behind cover allows me to gain information without dying, which is very, very important in a game like this, especially when snaking is very strong. So you definitely want to use it. Now, how do you use it offensively? Well, basically, what you're going to do here is you're going to snake until you see your target. And then as soon as you see your target, you're going to aim in and shoot. Now, there's 2 ways you can do this. You do not have to commit to the gunfire. For example, I can shoot him like this and then commit when I feel like I have the advantage or like he's weak, just like that. You can hit him with a 1-2. You don't have to fully commit to the gunfight. But snaking is very OP, and if you're not using it, well, you're not going to really climb the rank. Now let's move on to the next thing, which is basically the D-hop or dolphin diving on ledges. It still can be used. It did get nerfed a while back, but it's still somewhat viable. So basically is you want to time a dolphin dive and hit a ledge. Now, obviously, if you don't do it correctly, you will fly deep like that. But the correct way to do is you got to time it, and it's going to bounce you off, and you're basically ready to engage immediately. The reason this is important is when you dolphin dive, you have this 1 or 2 seconds before you can aim in or even shoot your gun or even move. But when done correctly, you're able to shoot right away, and it can also send you flying, which can be pretty good in certain scenarios. So if I wanted to challenge someone under me and I wanted to fly off this and D-hop it, I could do this. You see how I'm able to immediately fly off, it looks crazy, and then I'm able to shoot and get a kill. But this is also going to go and pair with dolphin diving, and that's something else I want to talk about. Sliding in this game, honestly, it's pretty bad. The only time you can really slide is if you're trying to slide down the stairs, you want to do this movement. That is the only good time to slide, realistically. Like sliding down a staircase and challenging someone. Because this is a movement you can utilize that not many people do anymore. It used to in past CODs, but like with the sliding get nerfed, not many people like it anymore. But dolphin diving is going to be your best friend to escape scenarios and escape everything. If you're about to fight, let's say you're trapped here and you're one shot and a guy's holding this angle, you cannot slide away. He's going to kill you every time. But your best probability is to actually dive away like this. Your chances of living increase a lot more. So what I'm trying to say, diving is going to be your #1 escape mechanic, but on top of it, there is an aggressive way to use it, like the D-hop. Also, a setting that I changed that makes a big difference. You want to go to controller, you want to go to advanced, and then you want to go down to invert slide and dive behavior. I have this on the inverted. Basically, what this is going to do is instead of me having to hold to dive, it flips it, where hold is slide and clicking it once is dive. In a game where diving is really good and you kind of want to be your #1 mechanic to like avoid and escape, you definitely should be putting it like that. In a game like MW2 where TTK is very fast, sometimes running out in the open and challenging someone is very dumb and it will get you killed a lot of the times. Now, something you might see some of the pro players do is they shoulder stuff and play for information. And basically how you do this is you kind of go around a corner and you hit a little shimmy, a little shoulder. That's going to give you a lot of information of the area and spot maybe an enemy. So instead of me, you know, just running out, I do this. And then I challenge. It allows you to, one, stay alive, gain the information where someone's in, and then challenge. For example, I want to challenge this hill, but I don't know where the person in the hill is. If I simply do this and fly out, well, now I got to worry about many spots, right? I got to potentially worry about a guy coming here, a guy sitting here, sitting in this corner, sitting on top of the dumpster head, he's sitting here. So there's many spots to kind of check to challenge. Well, I'm most likely going to die. So instead of me just committing to it, instead I'm going to hit a shoulder. Oh, there you are. And then you fly out and challenge once you know your opponent's exact location. That's going to increase your odds of winning the gunfight and actually being more consistent, because you're not going to be having dumb deaths where you basically just do this, fly out, and then you just die to someone holding the pre-aim. But not only is shouldering good for that reason to, you know, engage in gunfights and win more gunfights, it's also important to gain information. Hey, I see 2 guys mid. I need someone's help. As soon as you gain that information, you see you can use the team shot. You see the teamwork come into play. Instead of me committing to a 1v1 gunfight, if I'm holding a lane by myself, for example, let's say I'm holding the back here, I simply shoulder, hit some shoulders, and you're never engaging. Like, I'm not just randomly going, oh, I'm gonna challenge this guy. No, you're simply going for information. You never commit to the gunfight, because you're gonna be usually at a disadvantage when you're shouldering somebody. So I see, yo, team, I need your help. And then my teammate helps me. This is a very important mechanic, and you see some of the best players in the world use, because it helps so much when used correctly. You can use it, again, aggressively or defensively, and it's going to allow you to get more kills, stay alive in situations you shouldn't stay alive, and utilize teamwork as well. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is something you see a lot of pros do and use in this game, where it kind of reminds you of Black Ops 4 a little bit. But it's kind of the crack aim. What is crack aim? It's when you ADS in and out like this. So whenever you watch the pros play, or even play ranked play, you're going to see some of the good players do this. Basically, what you're doing is you're allowing yourself to strafe a lot faster than you would just ADSing normal. This is also important with the TTK being very fast and sprint to fire being slow. You're kind of ADSing in and out. That way, if someone does end up being your crosshair, you're already aimed in, or at least halfway aimed in, and all you have to do is commit to the gunfight. So what you want to do is you basically spam ADS. Now, you can do full ADSs, or usually you want to do it where you're almost all the way ADS. And if you think someone's going to be here like this, and then you snap, boom. This is going to help a little bit with your movement, because you're going to able to kind of crack aim and just kind of get a little more mobile, a little more finessey in situations where you're kind of like just crack aiming, like kind of playing fast, aiming it in and out. And it's going to allow you to have that little bit more movement speed and a little bit strafing speed and catch people off guard. And I know it seems like a small tip for the last one, but trust me, it makes a difference in the gameplay, especially when running an AR. Now, to demonstrate the sub version, the sub, you can kind of do it as well. But usually people like to just pre-ADS. But like, let's say I think a guy's around a corner, but I'm not 100% sure. Instead of like, I can kind of do this, and that way I'm just ready, right? Also allows me to move a little bit faster than I would if I was just ADSing. So if I think someone's around this corner, for example, instead of me just doing this, I could do something like this. You're kind of like aiming in and out. It's not as good as with a sub, but doesn't mean you can do it with a sub, right? You can just still do it sometimes. Well, guys, with rank play out, I'm sure a lot of you guys are trying to improve. This is more of an updated movement video to help you guys improve your skill, get better movement, utilize movement, because movement at the end of the day is very good and very important to help you play better, you know, to engage in gunfights, to disengage in gunfights, to gain information. All these things, all the pro players use, and I've been using for years, and every game is a little bit different. So I try to give you guys the best tips on what you kind of want to do in this game to help you become a better player. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We'll be doing some more of these. And as always, I stream at twitch.tv/apathy every single day. Come watch me live.